Hello and welcome to Money Markets and More. My name is Dominic Frisby and today we ask, how much has your house really gone up by? And the subtitle of this piece is Gold, the Immutable Truth Machine versus Fiat Money, the Perpetual Lie. And a couple of quick don't forgets before we start. If you're in the Scottish neck of the woods this August, look out for me at the Edinburgh Fringe. I'll be performing one of my lectures with funny bits this August. This one is all about the history of mining. And as always, I shall be delivering it in Panmure House, where Adam Smith wrote Wealth of Nations. It's at 2 p.m. most afternoons, and I'll put a link in the box below in the description where you can get tickets. And also my book, Life After the State, Why We Don't Need Government, my first book and many people's favourite, is now back in print, and I recommend the audio book. Right, let's talk about gold. Gold is immutable. It is permanent. It is exactly as it was when the solar system was formed billions of years ago. It doesn't change, it doesn't corrode, it doesn't tarnish. There is no other substance that is as constant as gold. And that's why it makes such a brilliant unit of account. And those who study the subject will know that one of the key functions of money, as well as to be a store of value and a medium of exchange, is to be a unit of account. There's absolutely no point noting that something costs $10 today and $5 15 years ago and $2 50 years ago, because the unit of account, the dollar or the pound or the euro, is not the same today as it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago or 50 years ago. It keeps getting weaker. You have to use inflation-adjusted pounds or dollars, which don't work because the inflation rate itself is disputed. Just because a central bank says inflation is 3% or 5% doesn't mean it actually is 3 or 5%. Central banks don't factor in money supply, house prices, or numerous other key prices into their measures. So the only reason we do use pounds or dollars or euros as a unit of account is because we have to report and pay taxes in dollars and pounds and euros. But in doing so, we are just succumbing to the money illusion. Gold, being constant, is a much better unit of account, particularly over time. So we should use gold as our measure. It tells the truth where fiat lies. And that is what we're going to do today. We're going to look at some key prices, wages, house prices, energy, but measured in gold. And the truths exposed are telling. So let's start with wages. And I want to start with this ratio, a ratio you do not often see. And my thanks go to Andrew Wilshire and Keith Weiner of Monetary Metals for their help cobbling together these charts. And that is American, US and UK average salaries measured in gold. So let's start with US and UK salaries measured in pounds and dollars. And here they are. And as you can see, they keep rising. We have never earned so much, right? Now, here they are in gold. Now, the data here only goes to 2022 and 2023. Were it to include 2024, when the gold price has been very strong, you would see that average wages are now at their lowest level in modern history. And by the way, those 1980 levels are illusory. Gold went to $850 that year, but only on one afternoon during the panic of the Iranian hostage crisis and the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. So the 1980 high, that number is a slight aberration. And by the way, if you're interested in buying gold, I've done a recent report. I'll put a link to it in the comments. I think it's going to come in very handy, and my recommended bullion dealer is the Pure Gold Company, and I'll put a link to them in the description. So, house prices. Now, one of the many things that the modern worker can no longer afford is accommodation. So let's take a look at house prices next. And here we see the average price of a US house since 1964, and you can see how house prices have risen relentlessly. Whereas in the 1950s and the 1960s, the average American house was affordable with just one salary and relatively low levels of debt, today it typically takes two salaries and a lot more debt to buy a home. People have smaller families as a result and later in life. House price to earnings ratios have reached, in the past 10 years, levels never before seen in history. While housing unaffordability is one of the biggest issues for young Americans, it's a huge factor in the rise of nihilism. Many feel they will never be able to afford a home. So what is the point? Here is the average UK home since 1953, and as in America, UK houses have risen relentlessly in price with the same consequences of unaffordability, smaller families later in life, nihilism amongst the young, and all the rest of it. Housing unaffordability, especially in desirable urban locations, is a huge issue. And house price to earning ratios in the UK at more than 9 are at the highest point they have ever been in the modern era. Both house prices have risen inexorably. The crashes of 1989 to 94 and 2008 are mere blips. Now for the truth machine. Here are those same house prices, but measured in gold. And amazingly, the average American home is cheaper than it was in the 1960s and indeed the 1980s and 90s. And then we look at those same house prices in the UK, but priced in gold. And amazingly, the average UK house, for all the inflation that has taken place, is the same price it was in the 1950s. And you can do the same with energy stocks. The S&P 500 broke out to new highs yesterday, don't you know? Energy, you can do it with stocks, food, clothing, and you will discover the same thing. Priced in gold, they are the same price they were decades ago. Bottom line, fiat is a lie and you are being robbed. Save in gold and Bitcoin. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with another video very soon. Don't forget the Edinburgh Festival. Don't forget Life After the State. Until next time, goodbye.